Name that tune. That's right. Name that tune. I love the power of story. And the most important story is your story. So, today, I am going to be prompting you in some really specific ways. So, a year from now, I'm going to cut right here, into the heart. So today we're going to play along. Okay, this is interactive. Name that tune. Do 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 do. Do you believe? Put your hand on your heart. That in this moment you are living best. If it's true, then I am like the frickin' moon happy for you. Question number 1. Are you living your best life? It's a big one. Came to my forefront in my mind because yesterday I went for a drive. And spent some time alone. I was in a real conundrum state of mind. I needed to get some clarity on why I was so incredibly bent out of shape. So I knew what the indicator was because I was snappy inside. I was snappy with other people and I was complaining. I didn't like this part of my life. Okay. And I realized that I had been holding back my emotions. So if I'm holding back my emotions, I'm not living my best life because my best life is an authentic life. I'd been on the weekend and it was beautiful. It was lovely. It was almost perfect. And in that almost perfection, I met my loved ones who were not there. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone to an event and realized a little bit sad because that special someone wasn't there? There were a couple special someones and they kept on reminding me, because they are angels, that they were there with me in spirit, and I was able to feel good. I was able to feel because my daughter was there with me in spirit, and my nephew was there with me in spirit, and my niece was there with me in spirit, and my angels kept on coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and it felt so good. And then I separated. My angels did not separate from me. I separated from my angels. See, in the busyness of my mind was set on all the things that I didn't want. And it's important that when the things you don't want come into your life, you mark them down. Have you done that? Have you taken an honest inventory about what's in your life that you don't like? Now, this is beautiful in its ability. If you write what in your life you do not want, you will get clarity. Stay there for a week. Stay there for a month. Stay there for a year. Stay there as long as you want. Write down all the shit in your life that's not good. You'll get clarity. And clarity is important. And if you spend all of your time waiting for a second chance, put your hand on your heart. If you take an honest inventory and spend all your time waiting, you will die miserable and unhappy because you will have regrets. You will regret the time that you did not take to dedicate to what it was that you to create. So after you take an honest inventory, I want you to flip it. Okay? So what you do after you take the honest inventory is, let's say, for example, I'll tell you where I was about a year and a half ago. I was driving down a road, and I drove down that road on Monday. That's what fired up this whole thing. And I was talking to my son about, I used to drive this work every day. I used to drive this way to work every day. 45 minutes to work, 45 minutes back. And I hated it. I hated that drive. But by the time I got to work, it wasn't that bad. And I was able to work well. Sure, I struggled a little bit. It wasn't that bad. I just shoved it aside. Avoidance. I didn't like it anymore. I was exponentially unhappy. I was exponentially angry. And I was in tremendous. I was in physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, and financial pain. So I was making money, bills. I was grateful that I was paying my bills, right? It's a good thing to be able to pay your bills, right? We all got bills to pay. This computer doesn't turn with magic. It needs electricity. I've got an electricity bill. I've got a mortgage. I got all those things. And I was paying them. And I was paying a price. See, the price of being unhappy is that you make everybody else in your life unhappy. This may be the year that you're working your ass off so you've got enough money saved up bank account so that you can go after your dream. And that's great. I'm proud of you for working through the bullshit job that you may be at. I'm happy if you're at your dream job. But I'm going to go back to the bullshit job. Okay? If you are literally shoveling bullshit for somebody who doesn't care about you, are they going to be there to wipe assets when you're sick? Are they going to bring you a pie for dessert when you're hungry? Have they delivered you flowers yet if you're at home sick? Do they really care about you? Or are you simply a Lego block in the building of their dream? If you keep on spending your time building someone else's dream, you will become resentful. So all of this came to me because of two. Do, 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 do. Name that song. Still waiting for someone to name that song. Do you believe that life is... If you look at impossible and you put an apostrophe in there, I apostrophe am possible. You change I am possible. Everything that you want is already there waiting for you, but you've got to connect with it. So if you spend all your time for a second chance, for a break that would make it okay. So a break that means it's going to make it okay. So let's say, for example, you fall down an incline. You're just going down a hill for some reason. I don't know. Let's say maybe there's a pot of gold at the bottom of the hill. You slide down, you roll, you do a commando roll your rib. You break one rib, two rib, three ribs. Oh my God, you break your leg. So you're waiting for a break to make it leave the job. Because there's always some reason that you're not good enough to be able to do what it is that you want to do. Self-sabotaging talk. And you're looking for a distraction every single day after work. And you feel much better after that. Just I'll just go for a beer with the guys. I'll be fine. I think it's very important to celebrate with your peers. Celebrate. Listen to the talk at work, or you talk about the dreams that you're going to create. Once you've got this list done, what I don't want, what I do want, I want you to spend some time with your angels. I want you to spend some time in that quiet space in your mind, in the space between the breath. Breathe in. Pause. That quiet space. Did you go there? Can you go to that quiet space? Hope you can. If you cannot, please reach out to me and schedule with me. I've been doing this for a very long time. I have been doing this beautiful thing called guiding, mentoring, being a joy guide since I did my first work with a friend after I left a job. This was years back. I left a job. It was a terrible work environment. The man that I was working for was quite mean. And I was no longer willing to sell my soul in the oil industry for someone who didn't really honor and respect me. I was struggling to honor and respect him. He was struggling to honor and respect me, to say bye-bye. And I still think about him every single time I drive by Costco. It's beautiful. I'm like, wow, thank you for the lesson. When you look at the people that have harmed you and say, thank you for the lesson, then you're learning. When you learn the lesson, you're winning. If you continue to repeat the same bullshit over and over again, day after day, expecting different results, you're stuck. If you're stuck, you're settling. If you're settling, you'll be unhappy. And there is another opportunity. It's an opportunity to choose joy every single day of your life. So once again, are you living your best life? Take an honest inventory of what you don't want and then flip it. Flip it to what you do want and then find a way to work it, and you will succeed. If what you've been doing for the last year isn't working, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, then you're in a pattern. And you need to get out of that pattern with a different vehicle. That's what is a different vehicle. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, asking the angels to guide me to the best card in this moment for what it is that we need to learn about together. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining. For those who don't know, I'm Nancy Nance and I'm Exponential Joy. Here's the cards. First card, breathe. Okay, that's what I talked about. Breathing. Please, let's take a moment here and talk about the breath. So, pausing and breathing. When you're breathing, are you breathing from your chest? That's hyperventilation eventually, and you're not getting a full breath. Are you breathing from your belly? Expanding your belly. What I want you to do is find that space in between. I want you to put your hands on your ribs underneath your bra line. Put them on sides, just on the sides. I want you to find your ribs, relax your shoulders, breathe in, and out. Intentionally feel your ribs expand. Breathe in, breathe out. When you breathe in, you're expanding your rib cage. You're making more room for the breath. Do this consciously. Do it morning, afternoon, night. Do it several times a day. Breathing is life. When you're breathing, you're living. Second card is crown chakra, inspiration. So that's where I talked about connecting with the breath and the mind. A busy mind struggles to receive inspiration from the crown chakra. So you got to quiet that mind so that you can awaken to Avalon and connect to the sacred realm. So Avalon is that beautiful bliss, that divine bliss. We are here on earth. The desire is to create heaven here on earth. Heaven here on earth. Are you living your best life? Is your life here on earth the ultimate, so that it feels like you're living heaven here on earth? If it is, then you're on the right path. If it's not, you can live your life where you're at, and you will live a life of regret, and then you will blame everybody else in your life for your unhappiness. So once again, I'm Nancy Nance. I am Exponential Joy. If anything that I've said has resonated with you and you want more, let's hook up. You know where to find me. I'm here. Connect with me. And I would love to help you create more joy in your life. So thanks for tuning in. Thursday, the sun is shining here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I hope it's shining where you are too. And if it's not shining, that your light is shining bright enough for everybody in the room. Love you to the moon and back. Thanks for tuning in.